Morning and welcome to a sunny Lisbon. I say sunny, it's only been sunny for the last few seconds. It was actually quite cloudy earlier on and a bit drizzly, despite they're saying there's no chance of rain. But it has brightened up. There's still quite a lot of cloud about, so I expect it'll be sunny intervals rather than a full-on sunny day, but that might not be a bad thing. I think it highs of 20 today, and I've walked down to the river from my hotel, and it's pretty cool. Basically we've got the Vasco da Gama bridge there, which like kind of spans the whole river. So it's like there's a big suspension part over there, and then it kind of goes across all the way across the river all the way to the other side, which you probably can't see very well because it is pretty vast. It's also a cool cable car here next to it, which doesn't seem to be running at the moment, but maybe that'll be running later on in the day, and maybe if we come back this way we could take a look at that. There's also the Oceaneria, I think it's called, in front of me, so that's like another big attraction in Lisbon. Quite close to the Eurostars hotel, which is like the Eurostars Universal Lisboa hotel, which I stayed at last night. It's pretty good. Really nice breakfast. I didn't really get out of the hotel until a bit later because of how good the breakfast was. I got up early, but still ended up sort of grazing on the breakfast and the juices and stuff all morning because it was very good. Not the cheapest hotel, but yeah, definitely worth it, I think. Yeah, so there's the cable car station over there. Again, look, it's not running, so it's a shame. I think it's called Telecabin. Anyway, we maybe see if that's around later. I have got AI ChatGPT to plan out my day for me, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go. I've not tried it before. I've seen other people try it, and I thought I'd give it a go because I'm usually pretty bad at finding the sites, and I want to see if AI can do a kind of better job than me of basically taking you around Lisbon. So yeah, it's set to go from my hotel, so I've walked down to the river a bit stupidly, which is in the other direction, but I've got to go and find the Oriente maybe train station. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I think I'm jumping on tram 28, and let's see where it gets to, because I'm not sure if I will completely follow what the AI tells me to do, but yeah, let's follow it along and see for the moment where it takes us, and yeah, see if it's any good. I have just popped back to the hotel and chucked off my hoodie because it's already getting hot and humid. I'm already sweating a bit. It's getting, I don't know, I don't think it's that hot. I think it's just quite humid, but it's sunning up, and yeah, I don't fancy carrying that around all day. So I'm gonna have to sort of make do with these short pockets for my power bank and all sorts. I've dropped most of my wallet off and kind of just got my card. I'm hoping that'll be enough. So I've got the bare minimum with me. Yeah, so I'm heading off to the Oriente train station, which is down this way. I walked this way last night, so pretty sure it's this direction. And yeah, I'm going to try and get on the I think get on the red line, I think it said, and then maybe I've changed the green line. So just going to try and find my way to the first location that the AI has picked out for me, and yeah, let's see if it's worth the trip. I'm outside the Oriente train station, Orient or Oriente, I'm not sure. Right, I'm going to go and see if I can jump on the red line. I think it's the same line that I got yesterday from the airport. I'm guessing it's in a different direction, probably not towards the airport. because that's probably the wrong way. There was only a few stops to the airport, so I think it'll be the other way. I've worked out that it's best to get your ticket from the help desk rather than from the machines, because there is like a 24-hour ticket for €7.50, and he'll give you this kind of yellow card, Navigante card, and that should give me 24 hours tram and bus travel, and yeah, so that's a lot easier than tapping in and tapping out, because I don't know if that will be the same amount at the end of the day, because you might be paying for single journeys. So I think you're better off getting the Navigante card, but go up to the help desk and ask for a 24-hour ticket and they'll get you one. The AI has brought me to the Maritimones, Praza Maritimones. It looks okay. It's got some like cool little fountain things there. So I wouldn't want to go and stand by them in case they suddenly jump up and get me. But yeah, it's like a nice big sort of square that you can walk around. This is one of the sights of Lisbon, I guess. So there's some nice old buildings next to it, and there's a really cool like elevator over there. So there's like a sort of escalator, sorry, over there that takes you all the way up. I wonder if that's free or not. I'll be tempted to try that out. So that's quite cool. So there's some cool stuff around here. But I'm not sure this square has got that much going on. There's some sort of guy on a tannoy over there. I don't know if it's something to do with like a radio station or something, or some sort of betting thing, I think. So maybe it's like if you got a winning ticket, I don't know. But yeah, it's quite nice around here. So I think ChatGPT has done a reasonable job of bringing me to one of the sites. I will have a read of what it says to do next. It said to kind of take in the sights of the area. So I'm a bit confused now. I'm gonna get on tram 28, I think, but it looks like the queue is like really massive. I don't know if this is the queue for the tram or not, but I mean, they have got quite small trams, so maybe that's the problem. I don't know, but it's a pretty big queue. I mean, I'm on another side of the tram stop, so I don't know if like maybe the 28 comes here and that one's the 12. I don't know, but I've got a sense of foreboding about it, so I'm not sure why ChatGPT would take me to somewhere where there's like a massively big queue for the tram. Anyway, I'm going to try and work it out and then see if I can, well, see if it is a problem, and if not, come up with an alternative plan, I guess. Yeah, I just spoke to some helpful people at the tram stop, and they said that they were waiting for the tram, and I think it will come on the other side of the road over there, where the big queue of people is. They said that they'd been in the queue for a while, and that like even at the end of this queue, it's like a 45-minute wait. So like down there at the bottom, down there right at the bottom of the line, that's a 45-minute wait. But the queue goes all the way down the road, all the way down there, so all the way down the bottom there, and that apparently is a queue for 2 hours. So yeah, I think we might have to abandon ChatGPT's idea of a nice historic tram ride. Don't think it'll be that historic. I mean, historic wait for it maybe. But yeah, maybe let's check out this crazy escalator. There's an escalator that goes up all the way to the castle, so I might go and have a look at that, see what that looks like. But yeah, so far the AI isn't quite doing what we want, but I suppose a bit later than what the AI thought we would be, so maybe it would have been quieter earlier, I don't know. Anyway, here's the escalator. So I think we just go up this escalator. I don't think it costs anything. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? I mean, not so good if you want to come back down because you've got a load of steps. But yeah, what a cool idea. So an escalator to get up to like quite a high place, because Lisbon's quite a hilly city, so yeah, you definitely need these sort of things. So yeah, so I'm a little bit foxed by ChatGPT there. So yeah, I'm gonna go up to the castle, gonna have a little look at that, see if I can get some sort of shots of that. It looks quite picturesque, and then see if we can't find some alternative that isn't a really mega busy thing. You wouldn't think that just public transport would be a 2-hour queue, but I guess it's like an iconic tram ride that goes through lots of little streets and back alley type places. So yeah, I guess that's why it's a 2-hour queue anyway. So, and it is a Saturday, so probably one of the busier days to do it. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting my bearings at the moment, but yeah, I think I will leave tram 28 for now and see if we can find an alternative. See if ChatGPT has any suggestions. Tell him it's really busy, or him or her or it. Tell it that it's really busy on tram 28. Maybe, well, what is the alternative? So I'm guessing it will tell me the metro. But yeah, let's see if there's any alternative trams that are like kind of hidden gems maybe. So yeah, let's see what it comes up with. Found the castle, which is behind me, Castello St. George, something like that, San George. Problem is, once again, there's a massive queue. I think it's €15 for an adult, but the queue is just unbelievable. Basically, you've got all the way up there, and it goes all the way down there. So Lisbon, once again, not a place to come to if you're in a hurry, because you are going to be several hours queuing for everything that you do. So yeah, two strikes. Will it get a third? But yeah, basically I can't find anywhere that's not full of tourists. I know it's a touristy place, but this is a bit like queuing for a ride at Alton Towers. Yeah, you sort of end up with a massive like queue for everything. I just want to kind of look at something, you know what I mean? But I think it's because they're charging for everything to go in, and the trams are like really small. So like tram 28, I think it's like a historic tram, and then that makes it's a small tram, so they can only fit like, you know, so many people on at once. So that was busy because of that, and the castle was busy because you have to pay to get in. Yeah, but you can kind of see some of it from outside. So you see some wars there. So yeah, so I don't know which plan we're on now, plan C or D. But try and find another place to go and look at. I think I was in the right area by the hotel this morning because it was quite nice looking around there, and you had the big like river view and the Rio or something. Or I don't know what it's called, but yeah, not very familiar with Portuguese, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, it just seems to be like everywhere you go it's like really packed. I know it's a Saturday, so don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, I wasn't going to potentially go in the castle anyway because you have to pay, but I thought you might be able to get a good view of it from the outside, but you can't, or at least it doesn't seem that way. I can tell. I probably had a better view from down where tram 28 was at the Marimunis, I think it was. So I had quite a good view from down the bottom there of the castle above. So yeah, I'm going to go and I don't know what to do now. Maybe go and have a drink somewhere, or go and try and find something. Maybe ask ChatGPT what it thinks. What is there to do that isn't busy in Lisbon? Probably not going to get many answers, I don't think. I've asked ChatGPT for like an alternative plan for the day, somewhere that's less busy, somewhere that doesn't have like massive queues but still quite nice, and is free. And it's basically given me a plan starting from the castle, which is where we are. We're at São Jorge Castle. I'm in a kind of cool little park that had a nice view out over the river, which is pretty cool. So I've got to walk through the Alfama district and on foot, enjoy the winding streets, tiled facades and views of the Tagus River. So now I've got to basically try and get to Miradouro da Senhora do Monte. So it says from Alfama, walk uphill. Well, actually it says to get to Alfama first, but anyway, I'm going to plan the map out because ChatGPT will tell you where to go. It doesn't really tell you how to. So I'm going to try and put this into Google Maps and then work out where I've got to go, and then make my way to those places. But it looks like this might be a bit quieter, and I think it even has a funicular which is free, so that should be pretty cool. I am making my way to Miradouro de Santa Luisa, which is what ChatGPT suggests I do, the direction that I walk through. And I'm just basically, I don't remember all the names off by heart, so I'm kind of following each thing and quickly looking at the map to see where I am. Debating whether to stop and get a drink at some point on the way. Not sure yet, but maybe when I get to the destination. It is a little bit quieter down here. I did say that this sort of route wouldn't be as touristy as near the castle, which is true. It looks pretty good in front. I mean, there are tourists about, but it's not too busy. The castle was just really crazy, but it's kind of got the best views, I think, over Lisbon, so it makes sense really. But yeah, I'm sort of following this route here, and let's see how we get on, but hopefully it'll come up with a better plan than what it did earlier on. So I'm not totally confident so far, but it is quite difficult. I think you've got to kind of plan these things out before you come, and then really study the route and really study the places, because ChatGPT can kind of tell you things, but it can't easily give you a sense of where you've got to actually get to. So you need to use Google Maps or maps for that. Oh god, there's some sort of, I think something's hit. Basically a car has just hit a bollard, I think, and I think it's damaged the engine underneath. So yeah, I think basically he tried to go through there was like a bollard in the road, and I think he's tried to go through the bollard when it was a red light, and then the bollard's come up and hit the car. But yeah, it's not very good. So yeah, basically that's what's happened underneath. I don't know, I saw like steam from an engine, so yeah, it doesn't look good to me. Hopefully it's better than it looks. Yeah, not good. I think basically the first car was allowed through, so it had gone through. I saw there was a bollard in the road, but I think the guy like went after the car in front, and the bollard must have come back up and hit under, and it must have hit under his engine. So I really don't know. I would imagine that's, I don't know, imagine that's done some damage. I wouldn't have thought it would come up so fast. So maybe it's just hit his radiator with the bollard, I don't know. But yeah, not good. Oh, this looks like quite a nice little spot. Like a nice little kind of tram line going through here. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I think this is Miradoro de Santa Luisa. I think that's right. Yeah, Miradoro de Santa Luisa. Yeah, so that's what this place is, where I am. So just after that car hit the bollard, I've basically found the destination. It looks pretty good. It's got like quite a good vantage point out over Lisbon, again over the river, similar to what I could see from the last place actually. So you can sort of see this cruise ship, and you can see the river. So I think, yeah, basically a similar view to what I could see. It's probably a bit lower down than I was before. A bit higher, yeah, a bit lower down from where I was. That looks like it's tram 28. And you can see, look how busy. There's lots of people on that tram, so it's quite popular. Probably better to get a view from it, from the outside anyway, I think. Probably looks better than being on it. Anyway, yeah, quite a nice place. Guessing it's a church. It is a church. So there we go. Church or a cathedral of some kind. And it's got a nice kind of garden area as well. So yeah, you got the gardens, and you got music playing. And then there's some like kind of little market stands and stuff as well. And people selling like pictures and postcards and, you know, art from Lisbon. Yeah, it's quite cool. So ChatGPT has got one thing right, one thing, and that's this place. It's pretty good. Right, I think I'm gonna go and find a little cafe and maybe get a drink, I think. 'Cause it's quite hot, but I'm gonna put in the next destination that it suggests and see what I find on the route. Finally found a reasonably quiet cafe to have a beer in. Pretty nice. It's just by the side of the road that kind of I've just walked up, and I think the bar's over that way somewhere. But yeah, it's quite nice views here, quite nice buildings. There was a building behind with loads of tiles, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna have my first Portuguese beer. I've just finished my beer, and I'm going to the next place that ChatGPT wants to send me, which is Miradoro da Senhora do Monte. So I think it's in this direction here. I'm heading past this cool little cafe that I just had a beer in. I was talking to a guy from Austria there, and he was pretty cool, and he was working in Lisbon, I think from last September till now. He's telling me a bit about the city and saying, like, you know, what the weather's like. It's pretty mild all year round, but it does sometimes have some pretty bad rain. So yeah, quite a nice place to live from what he said, apart from I think there was some kind of like driving rain or something at one point of the year, but I think it's pretty mild all round, so never really gets to minus any temperature minus basically. So right, let's head on, and it's telling me to walk straight ahead, which is pretty cool, and some nice sort of, like, you know, it's quite cool, these cobbled sort of streets. Like nearly every street is like cobbled and I think it's something particular to Portugal. They have this kind of special sort of cobbled street, and yeah, it's like a special Portuguese style, so pretty cool as well. So it's got a lot of character, Lisbon. It's growing on me, definitely. I was a bit kind of like put out earlier when I was sort of not able to get on the tram, and the castle was mega busy, and it just seemed to be almost impossible to work out what to do. But now, after I've had a beer, that's kind of relaxed me, and I've had a good chat with someone. I'm enjoying it, and yeah, it's quite a nice place. This is what always happens with places, I think. You end up, you know, things kind of looking up. Interestingly, there's like a kind of cool market over here, so I might just quickly take a look at that while we're around the area. And I think it's like kind of souvenirs and jewellery and honey, that sort of thing. So it's like a kind of little market. That's quite cool, isn't it? Lisbon's full of little surprises. Yeah, something like loads of honey over there. Pretty good. Rachel would love that. Yeah, so I think Lisbon's growing on me. I've got about a 7-minute walk, so I'm looking forward to it. I've only got today to kind of look around, so I need to make the most of it, really. He was saying it's pretty good going across the river. So the guy from Austria was saying, you know, you can go across the river, and it's a really wide river. And apparently, like, the locals here call it like the Sea of Lisbon. So it's kind of like, it's not a sea, but it's so wide that people kind of see it as a sea. So it would be really cool if there's a way of just going across on the boat. I don't know what it costs or what's involved, but could try and look at that sometime later on today. Also, they've got these kind of weird tuk-tuks. Like, they're kind of, you know, lots of weird designs on them and stuff. So yeah, it's got its own little sort of like character, Lisbon, really. Quite nice, really. It's growing on me, definitely. I think I can see where I'm going now, and just like in a lot of the places in Lisbon, suddenly you sort of see a massive hill and think, oh yeah, that looks quite touristy, probably there that I'm going to. And yeah, without fail, it is a massive hill that I've got to walk up again. I've walked up quite a few massive hills today, but it's fine, I'll get up it. I think that's why there's a lot of tuk-tuks about, because I think people are just jumping in a tuk-tuk and going around rather than walking everywhere like me, but I think I could do with a walk anyway. Yeah, I think it's just like another really good viewpoint. There's some stuff here, like a cool building. So like this church across here. So that's what's here, I think. That's what I was set to. And that's what it sent me to. And it is a really nice view out over Lisbon, and you can basically see like another suspension bridge in the distance there. Just want to see if I can zoom in. Maybe you can see the suspension bridge. There it is. So yeah, so that's about as close as I can get it. But yeah. But yeah, so it was kind of worth coming up the hill, I think. So yeah, Lisbon's pretty nice. It's got a nice views, and yeah, it's kind of got its own feel to it. It's quite hilly. Oh, and I've got a better view of the castle. So that was the castle I was trying to get to earlier, and I couldn't get to it because it's just so busy. And I think you've actually got a better view of it up here. So I think I would rather that view. Hang on, zoom out again. That's the problem with going in and out. But yeah, I think it's a better view from here, the castle, than if you go to the castle itself. I mean, I suppose you get to see inside the castle if you go that way. But it was like a massive queue to get into the castle, and 15 euros, and it's just going to be crowded with people. So there's no point really. I'm quite happy just to see it from a distance, really. ChatGPT wants me to have lunch at somewhere called Grazza or Grazza. I'm not that hungry, to be honest with you. I had quite a big breakfast, so I'm thinking of skipping that and heading on to the free Grazza funicular, which I need to search for where it is. But yeah, I think that might be a good next stop. I quite like the idea of a funicular. And then I might try and see if I can look at the river and whether there's a sort of like nice way to cross that. Looks like I've got to go back down the same way that I came up to get to here. And it's pretty cool, like some really good views up here actually. So I'm really glad that I kind of follow what it wanted me to do, because there's a lot. Most of the things that it takes you to, or it has taken me to, is like views over Lisbon. So, which is kind of the nicest to film, really. So, yeah. So I'm going to head down the road. I hope I'm going the right way. And yeah, so I'm going back down the hill that I walked up. It's just much easier to walk down it than it is to walk up it. A lot of graffiti here as well. Don't know why, but basically, look, there we go. Look, I don't think that's Portuguese. Bangkok. Is that how you spell Bangkok? Not sure. It looks like ChatGPT is basically taking me back the same way I just came from. It's taking me back past that cafe where I just got a beer. So I've walked all the way round to the other place, and now it's just taking me back about the same direction I just came from. So I don't know exactly why it did that. Probably makes sense. Maybe it's like, well, you need to go over there and then come back, but I don't know. I'll probably end up back where I started just a minute ago. But yeah, there's my there's that cafe that we were at earlier. So basically sent me right back the same way again. Anyway, hopefully there's a funicular at the end of this. Okay, I found the funicular, and it's at the top of another really good view, and there's a church bells going on in the background because there's a wedding. So you'll have to kind of ignore that. They were like firing some sort of pyrotechnic thing just a minute ago. Anyway, yeah, quite a nice view over Lisbon. Right, I think I'm going to go and see if the funicular is operating. Thank you. funicular was alright. It was quite quiet. There's not many people on it. I think more people go up than come down. But it was like, it was free, and yeah, it was quite modern. I always thought for funiculars you needed to have one going up while one was coming down. Maybe there's some like really heavy weight or something underneath that it's moving up and down, I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty good, and it was free. And at first I thought it was closed, but it wasn't. So yeah, right, I'm gonna have a look at the plan and see what's next to do. I have found a lovely bench outside the funicular. I've just checked what ChatGPT wants me to do next. It wants me to go to like the main street in Lisbon, which is Rua Augusta. So it's like the main pedestrian street. So, and it's sort of heading down towards the river. So I think it's a good direction to go in if we're thinking about crossing the river on a boat. So maybe it's best to follow its plan until it gets us, because it is basically taking us to a riverside walk at the end of the day, and we're quite ahead of schedule. So I'm sort of thinking, can I follow what it tells me to do and then add something in afterwards, because I'm a bit ahead of schedule, because that's kind of skip lunch. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and find my way now using Google Maps. Pretty sure I have been this way before as well today. I remember filming these buildings earlier, although I went up towards the castle, so I'm kind of going down now away from the way I went earlier, which is good. But yeah, I think I'm walking towards the main sort of like pedestrian street, so I'm guessing it means like almost the centre of town. I don't know if that's true or not, but hopefully we're going to end up in the centre of town, and then afterwards it's going to take us down towards the river, so that should be quite good. Some really nice looking buildings here, and like these really cool different colours, like yellows and greens and blues. You know, they've got a lot of sort of style to them, and some of them very narrow streets. Well, this cobblestone stuff's really cool as well. It's like nearly everywhere is cobblestone, which I'm not sure is good on your feet, but it does make it look a lot less drab than it does in the UK with pavements. So it's pretty cool. And lots of little cafes to have a beer. There we go. I just saw the price of tiles there, so there was one tile was €5, so that's not too bad. I might pick up one of those before I go back. But yeah, they're not too pricey. I thought someone was going to like say, oh, €100, but no, it looks like they're quite reasonably priced. So yeah, but I'm not carrying one around with me at the moment. I'm basically carrying a power bank, a heavy phone, camera. You know, my cards, cable for charging from the power bank, all sorts on me. So I'm trying to keep myself as light as possible. ChatGPT didn't send me this way, but it was kind of like just on the route, and I thought I'd take a look because it looks quite nice. But it's called Praça da Figueira, and you got like a big bloke on a horse over there. Yeah, you got a bloke on a horse, and you've also got like quite a nice square, and there's like a sort of flea market place as well. Is this what you call that? It's kind of souvenirs really, I suppose. Like cool sort of like tiles and stuff from Lisbon. I think baby's clothes, isn't it? Or was it dog clothes? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's for dogs, not for babies. You got things like purses and jewellery, all that kind of stuff really. Quite nice sort of touristy stuff. That looks quite cool, that cat over there. That looks well good. Doesn't have a price on it. Usually when I don't have a price on it, it's probably like expensive. Found that out before in Paris and other places. Yeah, so it's quite cool. It's got like a little market basically. And yeah, ChatGPT didn't send me here, but it was on the corner of the route I was following, so I thought, well, rather than sort of turn off and go away from it, this looks like somewhere people would go, so thought I'd come and have a look. You got snow globes type thing. That's quite cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's sort of good. Might actually be quite a good sort of place to get budget sort of souvenirs, because you know they're probably a bit cheaper actually than the main souvenir shops. I don't know. Some cool stuff here though. So there's baby clothes, I think. Not for dogs, for babies. So if you've had a baby, you've got a shop for that. If you've had a dog, they got stuff for that as well. So they got you covered really. I don't think they got anything for baby, you know, anything that's not for babies or dogs, but apart from souvenirs. But yeah, I think I'll head back on the route again now. I just wanted to take a look because I saw it across the road and thought, well, I can't really ignore that. And it's got nice like kind of shops and restaurants all around the edge. So, you know, it's a lot here. I came from over that direction, so I've got to get back over that way because I think it was taking me away from this area. But yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of stuff to distract you in Lisbon. It's quite cool, and I'm seeing lots of stuff that I want to take back, but I just don't have any room in my pockets to carry. I don't want to carry a bag around with me. So I think, if anything, I might come back to like this place maybe later on this evening. Hopefully it's still open. Hopefully something's still open. And maybe get the souvenirs tonight before I kind of go back to the hotel, and then that way I don't have to carry it around all day with me. So I certainly don't want to be doing that really. Oh look, got one of those IKEA monkeys.
Hello.
I don't need a tuk-tuk, I was just interested in the monkey there. It's an IKEA monkey in it, we got one at home. I just spotted it. From where?
From IKEA.
IKEA, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we found one of those ourselves the other day. Yeah, it's quite dangerous here for walking. Yeah, I think I've been nearly killed here more times than I've not been killed elsewhere in other places. So it's yeah, it's a bit, you got to kind of watch what you're doing on the roads. To be fair, it was a road. I probably shouldn't have been walking across. I was following the tuk-tuk guy, who's obviously much more adept at crossing roads than me. Right, anyway, I'm going to follow back on the route and see where I get to. I think I found this main street of Lisbon, and it does look like the main street. It's really busy. There's like kind of nice cafe, restaurant places all down the middle of it. There are people selling like, well, someone just tried to sell me weed. I don't want any, but essentially yes, people are selling that quite openly. I don't know if it's illegal, maybe it's legal here. There are people with hats and bags and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty, yeah, it's basically like loads of stuff going on here. You can buy anything, I think. But lots of restaurants, lots of bars. So look, this kind of thing. So yeah, lots of like kind of restaurants and cafes all down the centre. And at the end there's some sort of really big gate, which I'm guessing is like the gate to the riverside or something. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, really picturesque, and yeah, this is probably the nicest looking street I've seen so far. I mean, the other streets have been cool. They've had like lots of old buildings and like some rundown buildings and stuff that look cool anyway. But this is like, you know, this is kind of like the main shopping street, I think. Yeah, there's all sorts of shops on the side as well, so yeah, pretty good. Right, I'm gonna find out what ChatGPT wants me to do next. I think it wants me to head towards that gate that's in front, so down that way, and then I think it wants me to probably go down to the riverside, but I'll check what it says. So I've not done too bad today. I have actually followed what its instructions were. I had to kind of change its plan quite a bit because it was, well, that looks quite good, doesn't it? Some sort of like big funnel with beer in it. That is well good. I want one of those. Although you kind of need the toilet to go with it. That's what they never tell you, isn't it? So it's alright if you got a toilet and you basically can go afterwards. But yeah, so yeah, this is kind of stuff as well. They're like sort of loads of street stuff, bags and shirts and all sorts basically. I don't think those are official shirts. But yeah, I'm gonna head towards that big gate in front of me, and then I'm going to find out what ChatGPT wants me to do. And I think it will be to go down to the river. Yeah, looking at what ChatGPT wants me to do, it wants me to wander by and visit Rua Augusta Arch, which I can't imagine is anything other than this massive arch down here. Then it wants me to go up the arch, but I'm not going to do that. And then it says, relax by the river Quai de Colonnas, where the marble steps descend into the water. It's a peaceful spot for sunset vibes, street performers and photos. Doesn't really feel like a peaceful area to me, this, but it is pretty picturesque. So yeah, I'm going to head towards the arch, and then I get the feeling the steps down to the river and everything will be there. I think we've kind of done what ChatGPT wanted us to do, so pretty good. Down here is pretty cool as well, like a nice big statue behind me again. Another bloke on an horse, I think. And yeah, I'll tell you what though, if you need drugs, there are drugs here, believe me. They're trying to, everywhere I walk in, somebody's like, you need hashish? Hash? I'm like, no, don't need it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of it. So I'm guessing it must be legal or something. That's crazy. But yeah, basically, yeah, everyone's trying to sell you drugs, which is weird. They're quite hassly as well here. I'm so surprised. Most European cities don't really get people coming up to you, but yeah, really hassly coming up trying to sell you drugs. But anyway, let's take a look at the river, I think. I was just in the, there's like a kind of ferry terminal, or like kind of sightseeing ferries terminal, and they said, oh, behind there's like a sort of city ferry. So I'm kind of in the city ferry terminal now, and I think it's just like a water tram that goes across the river, and that's all I really want really. I don't want like a massive sightseeing tour. I just want a kind of basic ferry that doesn't cost too much, I think. So yeah, it's right like off the metro, so I think you just come off the metro here. I've walked pretty much around the whole of Lisbon, but if you've got a metro you can come to here that way, and I might go and have a look and see what the tickets say and see what the prices are, to cross, because it would be quite cool to go on the river. So yeah, I'm going to go and take a look at the machines. There's a set of ticket machines over here. I don't think your metro ticket covers the trams, the water taxi, sorry. So I don't know. I imagine you got to get a separate ticket, but I'm going to go and try and find that out. I have managed to get on a boat. I do not, well, not on it yet, but I got through the ticket barrier anyway. I didn't really know what I was buying or how many. I think I bought 2 trips, but I'm guessing there and back. I don't know where it's going, but it does look like a big boat, so should be pretty good, I think. But yeah, just kind of following the crowd. Looks quite popular. So yeah, should be interesting to see where it ends up. Yeah, it's rocking up and down. Could be quite choppy. Right, let's see what it's like. Yeah, so it's one of those sort of boats where you are inside. I think it's just basically a little ferry that gets you across the river. But yeah, it's not like a kind of sightseeing boat. But it's got a lot of seats and it's quite comfortable, and you do get a view out the window, so you can sort of see out there. But I think it's more of a commuter boat than a kind of like a boat for tourists, but just wanted to get on a boat really. That was just more of a water taxi than like a kind of sightseeing boat. There wasn't really any outdoors bit to go to. I did go on quite a while. I was on there about 20 minutes, I think. Yeah, it's a nice comfortable boat, plenty of seats, but it's an indoor only boat. You can't like sort of go up on deck and look out, and you know, it's not like being on a channel ferry or anything like that, or even one of the sightseeing boats, where I'm sure you would have like the ability to you know, stand outside. But yeah, not sure where it's brought me to because I didn't actually look where it was, but it is the other side of the river from where I was, I believe. So I'm going to have a look around the area and see what there is to do, but I'm guessing it's kind of quite residential. I think it's like probably where a lot of people live, and then maybe they commute into Lisbon for the day. So I expect there's not going to be a lot to do. And there's like a massive car park, and I get a feeling it's a bit like a park and ride, because the girl in front of me on the boat, she seemed to like get her keys out at one point. I could see across to her, and she got her keys out and she had a car key. And so I reckon people park in these car parks and then they get on the ferry, and then the ferry like takes them to central Lisbon, where obviously the parking is probably like crazy. It's probably like really expensive to park. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think there's going to be much touristy stuff over here, but maybe there's like a supermarket, or I don't know, somewhere that we can have a look at, something to do. But yeah, this is the ferry terminal, and I honestly don't even know where I am. So I'm thinking of just like getting the ferry back to where it was before, so which makes sense. Don't really want to sort of spend ages traipsing around looking for something where there's nothing to do. And I think the boat is just I think the boat is basically just, I just went through the barrier. I think the boat is just going back the other way now, so might as well just follow it back. I only really wanted to go on a boat if there was a kind of area to stand out on, but unfortunately don't really have anywhere on it to go. So the only thing now is which boat's which. I need to just ask someone. Is this going back to Lisbon?
Yes, yes.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, so I'm not sure I got off this boat, but I managed to get a window seat, so I've got my own view this time. So So here we go, and I've even got a window I can open so I can stick the camera out. So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it's just a commuter ferry really, it's not like a holiday ferry or like a sightseeing ferry, but I'm not sure I've got on the right one because the guy was only going back to Lisbon, but it looked like my other ferry was like, the one I just got off was the one in front. So I don't know, maybe they don't send the same one back to the same place, I really don't know. So I could still end up anywhere. But yeah, don't know where I was really. There wasn't, it just was residential, didn't seem to be anything else there. I even had a quick look on Google and there just didn't seem to be anything. Just resident place, so basically houses and flats and a big car park, so nowhere else to go basically. I have returned back to Lisbon, so the guy was right. The boat was coming to Lisbon, which is good. I thought I could end up in just some other part of this area. The river's quite wide and there's quite a lot of landing points, I think. So I could have ended up anywhere, but luckily I'm back where I started. Looking out the window, it looked to be the same place. So here we go. So off the boat. Thought I'd take a walk down by the river because that's what ChatGPT wanted me to do, and it's not too bad. There's an international ferry terminal behind me there, but it's mostly waterfront. There's not like kind of loads of stuff going on. There's a few kind of bars about, but well, a few outdoor cafes, you know, kind of, but like if you look here, yeah, so you've got like a harbour area with some boats, and yeah, there's some sort of cafe, you know, like sort of outdoor cafe. I think some of these are closed. There only seems to be one open, but it's pretty, you know, it's nice views. It's not like particularly busy down here or lots to do, which might not be a bad thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to head back into the main area now, back to that kind of like crazy street that I walked down where everyone was trying to sell me drugs, and I might get some souvenirs and, you know, have a look around that area and see if I can find anything cool. But I might pick up some souvenirs, and then probably after that head back to the area the hotel's in. So I think I've had quite a lot of walking today. I've been sort of walking since this morning all the way until sort of late afternoon now. Well, I've stopped at a little restaurant cafe. It says that it's the best value cafe restaurant in Lisbon, and apparently it's got the sexiest toilet in the world. I think it said the world. You know, I'm interested to see what that looks like, so I think I'm going to get a beer here. I haven't had a drink for quite a while, so I've been sort of like a bit sort of dehydrated all day really. So it'd be nice to stop and just have a rest, get rehydrated sort of, and yeah, see what the sexiest toilet in the world looks like. that was definitely not the sexiest WC on earth. I must have my wires crossed, maybe it's next door or something. Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah, basically, I think it's like in between the Can and Terra Nova. I was using the Terra Nova restaurant, and yeah, it wasn't the sexiest toilet in there. Some bloke just come out of the toilet, and it did stink pretty badly actually when I had to go in there. But I had to go in, so. But yeah, anyway, nice bar apart from that, and yeah, drink was nice. I think I'm going to go and get some souvenirs and then head back to the hotel. Just been in the souvenir store. I managed to get like, I don't know, 5 fridge magnets and 2 reasonably, you know, sort of medium-sized tiles for €12. That's pretty crazy. Sure, when I was in Geneva last year, it would have cost like, I don't know, well, they weren't even as nice, but I think each one would have been like nearly €12. Not, maybe not the fridge magnets, but yeah, really good value here for souvenirs, really. Yeah, pretty good. I didn't expect to get that many. I'm gonna have a look around and see if I can find anything else to take back with me. But yeah, I think that's it really for the day. Had a good day out in Lisbon, and you know, thanks for coming with me on the trip. And it's always nice to have people with you. But yeah, I've had a nice day out in Lisbon. It started off a bit kind of difficult because of ChatGPT kind of sending me to places that were mega busy. But now, yeah, I've had a good day out. And anyway, thank you very much for watching that. Hope it was useful. I don't know if it would have been, but maybe if you want to plan your day out in Lisbon, you need to be careful what you tell ChatGPT. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching that. I'll see you again in the next one.